Hey guys, Kid for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another episode review of the Flagrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Apologies for getting this review out a few days after the episode initially aired. I had to work this weekend, and then in terms of Sunday stuff, there was a bunch of other animes in terms of reviews that you obviously saw on the channel that I dropped, including my Superman movie review that I had to basically talk about before doing that. And then, so basically after this, the only other anime I got to catch up from last week on in terms of reviews is Gachi Kuta. So that will probably be recorded on Tuesday evening, and hopefully they can get up on Tuesday evening as well. Obviously you're seeing this get this review Tuesday morning, even though I'm recording this Monday evening, right? Yeah, Monday night. But man, again, I'm really starting to love this show, man. It is becoming one of the best romance shows I've already watched, and I'm only 2 episodes in, and I'm really am liking this. This got me in the feels. It makes me feel happy, and Waguri is must protect, best girl of the season by far. This show is wonderful, and again, it only to a further just disgrace. It just pisses me off the fact that Netflix just decided to delay this thing now. I know I talked about how last week they delayed the episode more than likely because they wanted the show to have a dub for the show when it came out, and they couldn't do a dub for the show the moment the show came out. So that's why they delayed it till September for the official release and everything. And then obviously Netflix, like just this past week, I'm guessing Netflix must have had to drop this article or these statistics down with the fact that a bunch of people, probably including myself, were complaining about the fact, like, why is Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity not coming out on Netflix? And they basically put up the statistics, like basically signifying like 40 to 50% of people, when it comes to watching anime, they figured out, more people are actually, tuning in to watch English dubs, or just dubs in general, than just the Japanese sub version. Now, personally, again, I'm typically the person that doesn't complain, and I really hate this sub versus dub thing or battle, because I think it's just a toxic, stupid battle that is just absolutely stupid. Now, what I will be honest is it's just, look, frankly, most people nowadays, they don't tune in to watch the sub versions like they may used to, because again, you know preferably, I'm somebody that, yes, I'll watch the sub if I have to. Obviously, me doing reviews on a weekly basis, I have to watch the sub version. But once the sub version is done, typically if it's an anime that does have a dub version, right? Typically go back and I go back and rewatch the dub. Now for certain animes, I watch it on a week to week basis. Some animes, maybe I catch like the first episode and then I wait for the full season to drop, and then I just basically go on a binge watch, right? But with the statistics that Netflix provided, it's just frankly the fact, and people have to accept it, right? The fact that 9 out of 10 times people, just watch more dubs than the sub version, because for certain people, it's better to listen to it in their regular native language. Plus, it saves them the stress of not only trying to pay attention to the episode, but also reading the subtitles if you're watching the sub version. Again, some people prefer the sub version. Nothing wrong with that. Nowadays, more people are actually preferring dubbing, English dubbing, over the sub version. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, you're going to have your sub elitist people critique people who only strictly may watch English dubs, but that's how people strictly watch their anime. Some people, I know, they strictly just watch anime English dub. So if it's an anime that is not dubbed, they don't typically check it out until it gets a dub by some chance. Again, I have no issue with that, but when Netflix basically dropped that just only further confirmed to me, like, okay, that means you just delayed the Netflix official streaming version in the West and in other countries because you want this show to have a dub, and most people are only going to watch the anime in their native language. If Netflix had came out and said that's the reason why we delayed it, fine, okay, that's acceptable. I get it. You want to have your dub the day it releases, but you couldn't fit it in the day it came out. That's fine. Just come out and say it. But I feel like they posted that post of those statistics to notify and basically probably get the crowd that was like, why the hell did you do this? There's your answer. So Netflix basically delayed the anime because they want this show to be dubbed and they want people to watch it dubbed. Again, we'll see how it goes in terms of streaming numbers. It does when it comes in September 7th officially, because if you're like me who's just pirating it, unless you're going to go back and check out the English dub for the show, you're probably not going to watch Fragrant Flower Blooms of Dignity. So hopefully that means if the show ends up getting to season 2, hopefully that means we don't get a delay. But regardless, anyways, this episode was great. I enjoyed it. And man, we get some nice scenes with Rintaro basically having his own insecurities about how Waguri feels about him, and then also about his whole insecurities about the whole thing about their two schools kind of being kind of like anti each other. Now, I personally think for whatever reason, both sides are being stupidly fucking petty. Now, why I get one, first things first, why the all-boys school and the all-girls school just can't see eye to eye, I don't know. Is Rintaro and Waguri going to be the start to eventually, people seeing that, oh, they're talking and they have no issue with that, or maybe the fact, like, essentially at some point in the story, we'll see it to where they critique, one of the people critique, like, why are you hanging out with that freaking Kikyo girl school girl? And the girls are like, why are you hanging out with that cheatery boy? Maybe at some point, Rintaro and Waguri are gonna be like, man, screw this. We can hang out with who we want to hang out, and we're friends with you. We're friends, and we care a lot about each other. So if you guys have an issue with that, well, then y'all can kick rocks and y'all can F the hell out of here, right? So maybe their relationship blooming, right? Pun entirely intended, gets to start for these schools and these students to stop basically arguing with each other and hating each other, right? To the point that maybe you see, as the story goes on, maybe the boys and the girls, they start to interact more. Yes, they're going to different schools, but maybe they start to walk to school together and they're like, hey, I'll see you after class or something like that, or after school's done, and things like that, right? Because right now there's like a discrimination going on, right? And stuff like that. And we can clearly tell in the episode, like, Waguri doesn't really care about the discrimination. She's happy to know, because we found in the episode, she's happy to know that, like, Rintaro goes to the school right across from her. So that's the fact, like, I can actually see this dude more. So regardless, that's the thing. We pick up where we last left off from episode 1 at the cliffhanger, where they basically open the blinds and they see each other. He hides, right? And because of it, he's kind of like shaken up. He's like, what the hell? I didn't know that she goes to that school, and everything. And basically his friends are like, hey, bro, are you good? Like, you're not looking too good. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And they're like, you sure? You're acting all type of weird. And he's like, no, dude, I'm cool. And they even ask him, like, why are the sheets covering the window? Like, you're covering yourself in the sun. You typically don't care. You typically like to sit in the sun. He's like, actually, well, I'm just fine. I need to get a little shade in. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. Because he doesn't want to tell his friends, like, yeah, I talked with this girl who goes to the school across from us. And we actually kind of connected. So that leads into the next scene where we see it to where it's basically the end of the day. Waguri is actually waiting outside the boys' school. So Rintaro's, group shows them and they're like, oh, what the heck is this girl doing over here? And basically, she's happy to see Rintaro and everything. Now they two don't say anything to each other, and Rintaro's kind of like, what the heck is she doing here? But eventually you have it to where the girls from the all-girls school is like, come on, Waguri, what are you doing over there? Those boys are rude and everything. And again, they give this dirty look to them, right? And stuff like that. And it kind of leads to them like, okay, well then, screw you. We're just trying to be nice. We weren't even doing anything to her and everything, right? But that leads to the karaoke scene. And, Rintaro is just kind of thinking like, why did she do that? Why was she waiting outside? Like, and then he's like, wait, was she waiting for me? And he's like, no, that can't be. Why would she be waiting for a guy like me? I'm nothing special. Um, so this dude is already, again, kind of like how we see some other like main romance, dudes like, so they just don't think highly of themselves. They don't have a lot of self-confidence. They have a lot of insecurities about themselves because he thinks he's like a rough and tough dude that like nobody likes him and everything because that's trauma from his past. And he's like, there's no shot this girl wants to came over to the school and waited for me just to talk and speak with me. There's no shot. But in reality, yes, that's what Waguri wanted to do. She wanted to talk with him and hang out with him and tell him like, I'm just happy that you're right next to me, right? We basically, technically, I guess you can say, go to the same school, right? So after the karaoke thing, right, he ends up going back home to his bakery. And also too, it also leads into the insecurities that he's not even telling his friends about this. On top of it, he's not even telling his friends. We know he hasn't even told his friends, like, hey, basically kind of live at this bakery that my mom works at, and sometimes I help out. Because he has these insecurities that people think that he may think, his friends may think, it's soft of him that he works at a bakery. I don't know why people would look at you like that, but maybe that's a storyline down in the future. Eventually, his friends will walk in the bakery. He's doing that, and he may be hanging out, or he may be hanging out with Waguri, and they're like, "Wait, that's that girl. What the heck are you doing?" We'll see, right? So he goes back home, and he sees the lights of the bakery are still on. He's like, "Wait, we should be closed by now." So he opens the door, and he sees Waguri was waiting right then and there for him. And Adam's like, "Oh, okay. That's adorable. That's cute." Karako was waiting for him, right? So, she was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" and everything. And the thing is, the mom shows up. She's like, "Hey, why don't you just stay and take a bite to eat, right? Have some sweets. It's on the house, right?" So they basically sit down, and she starts the conversation. She's like, "Hey, I'm just really, I was actually really surprised when I saw you in the window and saw that, you go to the school across from me and everything." And Rintaro is just thinking like, what the heck, bro? Like, there's no way this girl was thinking and everything. And basically in this conversation, he was like, "Oh, well, I was kind of relieved too to see that you there as well." But then it kind of goes into this whole thing where it's clear, like, she's really happy that she's happy to see him, and then the fact that she wanted to talk with him more and get to know him better. But this is when his insecurities come in. Is like, hey, like, you don't want to meet a guy like me. You don't want to be around a guy like me. And she's like, why not? Is that a problem? He's like, well, it's because our schools, cheatery boys and Kikyo girls, they don't really get along with each other. Like, I don't think it's best that we have this whole thing and stuff like that because we go to different schools and these schools don't like each other. And because of it, this actually upsets Karako. And she's like, oh, well, okay. And she gets up, and Rintaro's like, wait, she just changed for a bit. And she's like, well, I guess I'll see you around. And as she's leaving the door, Rintaro's like, wait. And he sees on her face, like, she looks really sad. And you can tell, like, oh, I fucked up. Oh, shit. So he's basically then, so after that scene, he's basically in the house part of the bakery, right? And he's just like, fuck, man, I really hurt this girl. And he doesn't know what he truly kind of did wrong, but he doesn't understand what he did wrong. And his mom comes in and she's like, where's Waguri? Did you walk home? He's like, no, she kind of left. And the thing is, he kind of asked mom, like, hey, I think I might have upset her because I think I said something. And he kind of explains this. And the mom, like any mom did, basically hit him upside the head, like, boy, are you fucking stupid? Because even the mom's like, because the mom makes mention, she's like, man, this boy is really dense. Because it's clear, I think the mom already knows, like, okay, this girl likes my son. And yet my son is too damn dense to realize that, right? And basically, the mom kind of gives some good words of saying, like, well, maybe you should have not said what you said to her, and maybe you should have just truly told her how you truly felt. And we know the thing with Rintaro is, deep down, even though he's questioning, he has these insecurities because he's like, why is this girl wanting to hang out with me and talk with me? Deep down, he enjoyed being around Karako and enjoyed the presence she gives because it actually makes him happy. He just doesn't know how to express that because, kind of like what we see in My Dress Up Darling, because of something from his childhood, he got traumatized from it, and the insecurities, he thinks like, okay, well, this one girl thought I was mean and looked, basically scary. This girl wouldn't want nothing to do with me either. So because of it, he realizes his mistake. Dude legitimately punches himself so hard to the point he fucking is bleeding from his nose. And his mom's like, what the hell are you doing? And then he's like, thanks, Mom. I understand what I need to do. So then the next day, he goes. The next day, Karako's walking to school, but you have it where Rintaro, he ended up actually showing up way early, right? And obviously see as she's walking, she's a little bit sad and everything and depressed because it's like, this guy I actually grew to basically like and become friends with, right? He basically said he wants nothing to do with me. So then when she sees him, he basically, they both apologize, right? But Rintaro apologizes. He's like, no, you have nothing to apologize for. He basically says how sorry he is for talking the way he did to her and the fact that, he has these insecurities, but at the most part, the fact that, he's happy that she wanted to get to know him better, and the fact that he wants to get to know her better. And it was a beautiful scene right there. She was just shocked, and because of it, that sad smile, that sad look she had turns from sad, to happy. And then you get that wonderful moment where they both walk into the class not together, but you see from each other, and then they open the blinds because the dude in intern is like, no, I want to get to know her better because she seems like a really nice person. And he opens the blinds, and she already opened the blinds. She sees him, and you get that wonderful shot where she's just like, and she's jumping up in joy, happy as can be, and he just basically sticks his hand up, waving high. That whole scene right there, when she was doing that, smiling, you could tell like she was happy, bro. Honestly, that hit me in the feels, man. And when I saw that scene, I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be peak romance. This is gonna be peak romance. This is the shit what people must have been talking about. Oh, this is why this show probably gonna go down as one of the top 5 romances, animes I've ever watched. Because I saw that scene and I'm just like, I can't hate her. She's must protect. She's best girl. She's adorable. She's cute, and that was just adorable. And I like it, this whole thing, and I can't wait to see how this man's gonna start to get to know her better and get adjusted to him. And eventually, at some point, it's gonna be a storyline when, his friends are gonna catch and see like, wait, you're hanging out with that girl that was out front of school. What the heck is going on here? And then maybe he'll step on me like, this is what Karako Waguri and she's my friend and everything, right? Or maybe he may say we're more than friends, right? So yeah, because look, he's already protected her, so we'll see. But overall, Flagrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, man, it's really damn good. And man, it was a great episode on Saturday, and I can't wait for more. This is definitely peak romance content. So if you're missing out on this show, man, one, I don't know why you're watching this video, but like, it's really good. Like, even if you gotta pirate it and it goes against your code of maybe anime stuff, this is a show that's worth pirating. But I'm gonna get out for guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more. Yeah, if you want to get more, the Flagrant Flower Blooms with Dignity content or any other anime content I upload to the channel and things like that. But till then, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video, and I will catch you guys later. And then last time I checked, we are currently at not 899 subscribers, so we need one more subscriber to get to 900, and then, you know, guys, the cycle needs to get to 1,000. So yeah, I know the plan for 1,000. I'll probably have some sort of 1,000 subscriber special. Yeah, we'll have to see. We will have to see. But anyways, I'm the guy for guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts. Hit the subscribe button if you want to get more stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, peace.